Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo, and welcome to my scrapbook table. It is Sunday afternoon, so that means it is time for a scrap lift. We are scrap lifting one of our own this week. It is Shayla's birthday at the end of June, so we are scrap lifting her. And I don't know if she chose this one or if the group did, I forget. But it's got this striped background and then the plaid one going across this way, and then looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 strips of paper going down that way, and 2 photos and some journaling. So let me show you what I'm going to use. I am using this collection called Written Memories from Mintay, and I'm going to use these 2 pieces, these 2 scraps, to make some of the strips. I haven't decided if this is going to be my background or if this one's going to be my background. I don't know. But the back of one of them will be a couple other strips. So if I use this one as my background, this will be the piece going across. And then I pulled out these really old laser cuts from Creative Memories. They're Mrs. Grossman's, but I'm pretty sure Creative Memories sold them. They're from 2004. I fussy cut a bunch of images from the packaging for the Mintay collection. All things that have to do with writing, and I'll show you why in just a minute. I have these real delicate wood veneer pieces. I might do something with those. I'm not sure. These are some stickers that go with this collection. I also pulled in a piece of Stampin' Up paper because it fits the colors and the theme, and I thought I would need one more pattern to use in those strips that are going vertically on the page. The photos I am using, my daughter has a blog. She has been doing that since August of 2011. And I'm going to tell the story behind her blog and the title. This is not a current photo, but it fit the story I was trying to tell. This is her at Stan Hewitt Hall when she and a dear friend went on the like the behind the scenes tour of that great gorgeous mansion that's in Akron, Ohio. And it fits the story and the writing idea. So that's what I'm going to work with today. I'm going to go ahead and make a few decisions, match some photos, and then I will be back. So I've pulled out my swatch page for my Distress Oxide inks because I wanted to ink the edges of all these different patterns, which is something I commonly do. And I goofed and I pulled out the Pumice Stone Distress ink and not the Pumice Stone Oxide. I think the Distress one would have looked better, but this one's fine too. It turned out. So I didn't have you watch me do all of that. But what I did was put 3 strips of temporary adhesive across the middle of the page. That allowed me to place these down and move them as I wanted and make adjustments very easily. And then in a few minutes, I take my ATG and adhere them down more permanently. So now I'm taking this lacy bit and tucking it under on both edges. And while you don't see it clearly on camera here, it does show up nicely in the finished layout and added a little bit of different texture. So there we go. Also, you can see there that I pulled in a piece of wood grain for one of the strips. I needed another pattern. I wanted something that was not floral and that was not blue. So I looked through some things. I even went through a stash of like just strips of paper that I keep. There was nothing in there, but then I found a wood grain and I just cut a piece off of that. The one piece there was a little too short for my needs, so I split it in half and just stretched it, which won't matter because it will be behind some photos. And now I'm adjusting the lengths of some of these longer pieces to be where I want them, because in Shayla's project, they were not all the same length. They were varied, and I wanted that as well. So now I'm going in and just adhering things down. And again, I don't have you watch all of that. So here are my photos. I've matted them in navy blue. And I really wish I had kept this arrangement of the photos. I like it a little better than what I ended up with. But I can't take a picture when I do that because I am recording with my phone. And so then I forgot how I had it and I did a little bit differently. But that's okay. I'm still really happy with how this layout turned out. Then this one was just a little bit crooked, so I had to peel it up, and I almost ripped the whole thing, but I was able to save it. So the pictures again, one is of Emily at Stan Hewitt Hall. One is from a screenshot of her blog title, which is Tuesday News. And then there is part of her first blog post from August of 2011. And that's what I have put on here. Now I'm thinking about my embellishment clusters. Often when I do a 12 by 12 page, I only do 2 embellishment clusters, which is what I did here. And then I added just 2 really small embellishments in one other place. And I feel like that works better for me because if I try to do 3, I feel like my page is getting too crowded. And this one has a lot going on anyway, so I didn't want to do that. So I just used some things that I fussy cut from the packaging and from a mini pad of this that I have too. And that's what's going up in this corner. So there's a book that's going to serve as the base of my cluster. And then I just add various things that feel old-timey and have to do with writing. So there's a bottle of ink, a stack of books, a stack of letters, and a wax seal. That's really just a cardboard or chipboard sticker that looks like a wax seal. I did consider making some, and then I thought, no, there are some things that look like wax seals. They will work perfectly well, and I really wanted to get this layout done before I went to bed, and so I decided not to make wax seals. I wanted the inkwell popped up for some dimensions, so I just used some mini Stampin' Dimensionals and put behind there, and that's where that's going to go. I do add a couple other things to that cluster, which you'll be able to see in the still shots at the end. I tried to get the pen to work up there, and I just couldn't. It just didn't seem right. Anyway, I ended up using it with another pen toward the bottom. I did some journaling. It says, when she was a little girl, Emily wrote a newspaper for a homeschool project. It was called The Not Quite True Tuesday News. She filled it with fun stories about her chickens and family adventures, and she did keep that going for about a year when she was little. Fast forward to Emily, the college freshman. She started a blog called Tuesday News, and 14 years later, she still writes a blog post nearly every week. So now I'm working on the embellishment cluster at the bottom. I tried to be mindful this time of keeping my project in the filming frame consistently, and at this point you can tell that I have completely forgotten about that. It doesn't matter right now because I'm working at the bottom, but I know I cut off some of what was happening at the top. Excuse me. So I just layered up 2 ink pens here. That gorgeous navy blue typewriter. I absolutely love it. I add 2 of the wax seal pieces, and you'll see in a moment that I put a little word sticker on there that says remember. Now this little piece says time flies, and I thought that was really appropriate. You'll see what I do with that in a second. Again, this is Scraplift Crafternoon. There will be links in the description box below. Happy birthday to Shala, who we're celebrating. Thank you for the great inspiration piece. I loved working with it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And also check out the links for Shala and the others playing along with Scraplift Crafternoon. I'm really grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe.
because I'm working hard to get to 750 subscribers, and right now I'm at 726. So I'm getting there. I'm searching for one more little piece, and this is where I tag the remember in there. The one in the upper cluster says treasures. And there is the inspiration piece. Here's my layout, and then there are a couple close-ups of the embellishment clusters. Thanks again for joining me. I'm grateful you're here, and I hope you get to scrapbook something soon.